Okay, Bruce. First of all, thank you for coming to Mongolia and accepted our invitation. And I have a question because please tell us about yourself, more about yourself, where you come from, and why you came to Mongolia.
Well, I came from the United States, from the northwest of the United States, and I'm starting to travel more because I'm retired, and I like to come. I like to go places that are different, not like the same place that everybody goes, for tourists. So I like to experience places that are completely different and doing things in different ways than what I'm accustomed to. And I also love the beautiful landscapes and stuff like that. So Mongolia sounded like a good thing to do.
And it's when I heard this, America is like very far from me, you know.
Hmm.
But in American, it's heard about like Mongolia. It's considered one of the first destination, and it's one of the country which is located in the middle of the China and Russia. That's why. What do you think about when you heard about Mongolia? What is your perspective on that?
Um, I had to do a little bit of research because I wasn't exactly sure geographically where you were located, but once I did, I realized you were on the opposite side of the world from
Yeah.
me. And I've been to Turkey and a lot of other places in Asia, but I've never, and even to China, but I've never been to any place like Mongolia. And I also understand Mongolia is not the same as China.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what it was about.
Yeah. Now you're discovering about more how we have land and animals and nomadic culture.
Yeah, it's got from what I'm seeing so far, you have a very rich culture with all the herders and all the different types of animals. And I guess the amazing thing to me is I come from a country where the land is all fenced off and everybody owns the land. And here, everything is free range, and the cattle and the horses and the goats and the yaks and
Yeah.
everything else just wanders free, as do the people who stay with them. So I think it's a pretty amazing thing because I don't think it's going to be around
Hmm.
forever because it just doesn't exist anywhere else in the world that I know of. So
Yeah. That's why now is I'm personally doing this kind of stuff that is maybe in 2050 or 60 the nomadic culture is losing its value, you know. That's why there's more and more getting rare. That's why I'm just doing this work just a little bit nomadic culture still longer, more to
mhm.
maybe 10, 20 years. That's why I'm doing and spreading this kind of the information all over the world. So yeah. And also, my next question is: I saw your picture, beautiful picture that you took in Vietnam a few
Mhm.
years ago, and also on the other countries. But as you taking the photograph, and is your hobby, and what is your how to say the special target to take in the picture?
Well, for me, I want to make I want to make people feel like they've been there
Yes.
to experience what I've experienced, but I also want to try to capture the essence of the people and and their their lives and what they do and where they live. So, but really, it's about people understanding that there are people who still live the simple life in that has value to them. They don't have a dishwasher and a color TV and a car, but they do love their freedom and their animals.
Mm. Yesterday I saw yesterday you wake up in the 2 a.m. in the morning to take a picture of the night picture, especially Milky Way, and it's a beautiful picture that you took. So tell us about just how you took this picture and what is your, how to say, the night picture and the experience.
Well, one of the things about Mongolia that you don't find anywhere else or many other places in the world is there's no light pollution. So there's not a bunch of lights shining everywhere all night long. So you're able to see the stars still, and you're able to get the pictures and things, and so, and that's part of my hobby is doing the night photography. So
Yeah, I saw you. So it's not easy to wake up in 2 a.m. between 3 a.m. in the morning to take a picture of this night picture. It's amazing. I just found that.
oh, thank you. I'm going to do it again tonight if the clouds, if the clouds cooperate, so and go away.
Yes, because today is our fourth day of the travel in countryside. So, what is your main takeaway? Because today is we visited some ancient capital of Karakorum, which is called. Also, we visited some museum. And what is your, how to say, the takeaway from that visit?
I think my biggest takeaway is my sadness in seeing that it's all been destroyed at one time or another, and then has been rebuilt, so we can kind of get an idea of what it was, what it looked like, and that. But it also shows me that people really value that their culture and stuff. So I mean, all the Buddhist monasteries and all of the architecture and stuff that's out here.
Yes.
A lot goes into that, and I know that you don't have a lot of money to support the reconstruction of those, so it just means a lot of hard work from a lot of Mongols. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Mongolia is one of the country who is 90% almost population is Buddhist, you know. So I think it's that you mentioned it previously that you're interested in some Buddhist, how to say it's religion. So could you please tell us about more your interest about Buddhism? Since when you interested for Buddhism?
Well, the thing that interests me about the Buddhist religion, or should I say, to me, it's a Buddhist way of life. It's really not classified as a religion. It's a way of life because it teaches you to look inward for peace, and it teaches you to treat the world, the planet, with respect, and all animals and living things with respect. So, I mean, that to me, that's the thing that I like about Buddhism, and the thing that makes it attractive to me, because I don't think we have enough people that think about respecting nature and the planet these days.
Yeah, more linked with nature and also with, yes. Okay, my last question is because now is we have a third day of our travel in countryside, but next coming days also we also need to meet our herders. And what you expect into that meeting for our herders? You know?
For me, the most exciting part is just observing them and seeing how they live and how they respond. And I can't even, it's hard for me to imagine how tough these people must be to live here when you have winters that go to minus 50 C, and it's about the same temperature Fahrenheit. So, and then you have summers that get fairly hot, but it's just the fact that they live here on their own, and they don't have, they can't just go in and turn on the heating system, and they also so far they seem to be extremely kind and welcoming, so friendly. Yeah. Yeah, I just hope that that they can continue with that life if that's what they want, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just curious about your travel between to Mongolia and the USA, the Seattle. How many hours of flight you?
Oh, it's about, I think the total time was 22 hours or something like that, yeah, from Seattle, including a 1 hour layover. So,
Okay, here, so that means that is the difference hours is 12 hours,
it's
right?
about 12, I think.
I see.
Yeah, it's about the opposite.
Okay, so until now, no any difficulties or difference hours?
No,
No,
no, I
that's
do
okay.
okay with that. So,
Okay, thank you very much for Bruce, and I think it's the end of our trip. We have a possibility to take another interview your opinion, and
okay.
thank you very much. Have a good trip.
Yeah,
Okay,
and thank you for doing this. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So,
thank you.
thanks.